by Padre Pio towards the end of 1963. Okay, so maybe 2 or 3 years after the quotes that I've read to you today on YouTube, on the podcast. Padre Pio, after the election of Paul VI, Montini, said, quote, "Courage, courage, courage, for the church is already invaded by Freemasonry." He also added, "Freemasonry has already arrived at the slippers of the Pope." End quote. Now, you see that sometimes translated in the slippers. I try to make it as accurate as possible. But these two quotes from about 1963 show that Padre Pio believed Freemasonry. What is Freemasonry? Is it all tinfoil? Why do conspiracy theorists always talk about Freemasonry? Freemasonry is the humanitarian ideology that humans, by their own nature, can be elevated to the divine. That's what Freemasonry is. It's alchemy. That's why they always use alchemy, the analogy of alchemy in all Freemasonic liturgies. What is alchemy? You can take base metals like lead, copper, and through some sort of magical rite or secret knowledge, transubstantiate the lead into gold. That's alchemy. The reason that alchemy is the primary analogy for Freemasonic thinking is because what they want to do is they want to take your base human nature and through some kind of magic transubstantiate it into God, which is exactly what Satan, the serpent, told Eve in the garden, that she would become Elohim. They'd become gods. This is why the Baphomet, the nasty demon-headed guy, he has tattooed on his forearms, Solve et coagula. I've talked about that. Archbishop Vigano talks about it. Dissolve and coagulate. Rip apart and rebuild. This is the teaching of Freemasonry. It's becoming sort of the universal religion on planet Earth. It's the one world religion. We become our own gods. Divinity is us. There is no need for various religions. We can all come together into one religion because of human fraternity. And that human fraternity is the recognition that we are all human and we all can become God in our own way. And Freemasonic modernists, what they teach is Jesus Christ is the Son of God. This is heresy, what I'm saying right now. It's not my belief. But these modernist Judas priests, bishops, and theologians, they say, well, yes, I believe Jesus is the Son of God. But if you really pushed on their Jesuitical buttons, what they mean is Jesus, because of his altruism and his human fraternity and his international understanding of kingdom of God, he was the Son of God because he realized in himself, he was one of the pioneers in realizing that he was the Son of God. He was divine. And we have to follow him in his trailblazing to also become divine like him. It's not about propitiation, blood atonement, baptism, the Eucharist, faith, grace, original sin. It's not about that to them. These modernists, these Freemasons, that's how they understand humanity, and that's how they understand Christ. And if you look at the documents of Vatican II, Dignitatis Humanae, Nostra Aetate, Lumen Gentium, this updated, positive, confident understanding of the world and of human nature, this is why Padre Pio says, courage, courage, courage. Reminds me of Third Secret of Fatima. Penance, 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 but courage, courage, courage. For the church is already invaded by Freemasonry. And Freemasonry has already arrived at the slippers of the Pope, 1963.